Hey Internet, I'm Chaz.
And I'm Dan. Welcome to Wine is Serious Business. This is episode 77. And we're back with some more awesome samples. When we did wines from Santorini, that great Vinsanto, quite a few episodes ago, the Assyrtiko wasn't all that exciting. None of us were that excited about it. So our friend Constance hooked us up again. It's like, you guys need to try some good Assyrtiko. We're on board for trying some new awesome things. And she hasn't let us down at all. Like, she keeps sending us such great wine that you know, we're just going to try them all. We'll see how it turns out. We've got Grant back, our resident Greek expert, and yeah, 4 wines. Should be pretty exciting.
Great.
Let's start out.
Let's give it a go.
And Grant, tell us about the first one.
Which one are we starting on?
That one? Right.
Okay.
Some pretty birds in the hand.
So, Santorini Assyrtiko, again, Assyrtiko is the varietal, and this is from Santo Wines, which is the large cooperative winery on the island. So all the farmers will bring in their 1 acre or less of grapes in the back of the pickup truck and bring it in, and they'll sell it, and most of it's all bundled together. A few of them do sort of vineyard designates, but it's a great winery and a lot of fun. I've tasted there, and it's a great place to go. So
I need a small rinse.
Okay.
So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want the proper rinse?
Coming from another show, sorry.
Yeah. Because we can figure that out, but you might want to scoot in a little bit too.
Okay.
I think you're fine, but better safe than sorry. All right.
Get cozy, people. Let's smell some more.
lemony, nutty.
Nutty. There.
Nutty,
That's what
like
it is. I
almonds,
was like, what is
yeah.
that richness? Totally.
Almonds or walnuts?
Yeah, I'd go a little more towards the walnuts, I think.
Yeah.
I think you have like that dark earthy character and like apple fruit, like
Yep.
good fresh red apples to me.
You're getting some of the similar notes that you would get in some dessert wines.
I agree.
There's not the sugar, but
No, completely dry. Yeah, totally.
And a little bit of like smoke, it seems like. Yeah, like maybe the minerality is coming through a little that way, but there's a little like, I don't know, like an airy darkness to it, I guess.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I love this winery, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with red apple again, full on, perhaps even a little overripe, right, where it's starting to get a little bit soft, and there's a little hint of darkness on the peel and the fruit there.
Wow. Surprising how dry that is. I was
Super
expecting a little
Super
bit more.
dry.
Yeah.
And almost so much that's reminding me of like, with the mineralities, like white stones, like
Yes.
crushed quartz, something in that nature. It's very, very sharp. Like the acidity and the minerality is sharp, but not in a bad way at all. Focused, I guess, would be the term.
And remember, this is grown on an island of rock, so.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lemon juice late. It's part of the acidity. Never gets too powerful, but
Yeah, well balanced.
That's delicious.
yeah, yeah, easy drinking.
Yeah, easy drinking, not terribly complex, but nice wine. Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of minerality.
A lot of minerality. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one to score. We got 87 points on it. Delicious, and at the price. What was the price? Do we know the price?
We don't know the price on any of these. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Like
Generally,
Assyrtiko in
these wines
general,
aren't typically that expensive. Yeah.
right?
So,
Probably 12 to 25, somewhere in that range. Right?
yeah, and under $20, this is a purchase. Like, try this because it's very, very interesting. If you like a lot of minerality and a lot of acidity in your wines, awesome.
I'll give it 87 as well. That's exactly where I was at. I think it's got a lot of character. Not over the top, but yeah, beautiful.
I'm getting a little kiwi fruit late too, but for me the flavors aren't quite as integrated as I really, or like the transition like from the fruit to the acidity isn't quite as much as I like it, but still well done. 86 points for me, still solid. On to wine number 2. You know what this reminds me of? The Blue Moon Riesling. You guys drink that at all? Oh.
I'm a little scared. So this is, I believe this must be the winery name. It's Gavala.
All right.
So that's what we know about it.
All right. Wine number 2. Rinse. Rinse.
So for people that don't know
Is that
about the
follow-up?
islands, the Sam.
Well, you know, it kind of sets the sort of guest you're going to be for the night.
So you see these pores that he pours me, he's like, us a little bit about Santorini. Because obviously we talked about it on the previous show, but we haven't really talked about it on this show.
Okay, sure.
This is the person's first.
Well, it's a volcano. It erupted like 3,000 some years ago, and so it's sort of if you're from Oregon, it's the Crater Lake out in the middle of the ocean, right? So it's just and there's nothing left but sort of most of a ring.
Yeah.
It's just all ocean all the way around.
Beautiful. The pictures I've seen is just...
There's virtually nowhere you can get on the island you don't have a view. That's the incredible thing. One side or the other. And
it's like one big ridge.
It is. It's just a big ridge. And most of what they grow on the island is grapes. I saw a few tomatoes there and lots of grapes. So
how were the tomatoes?
I never had, well, I'm sure I had them in some of the meals, but I didn't go past the grapes.
Okay. Yeah. Good place to stop. All right. On to wine number 2.
Crazy. This has like
so different.
Dark character to it.
Got
dark character.
Spiciness, like a saltiness.
Yeah. There you go. Sea brine. I see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Edward in Twilight.
Oh no!
I went there.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what that means though.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have a.
I watched the riff tracks and went, okay, fellas. That's how it works. Yeah, this smells.
I'm getting like a little bit of grilled meat, maybe, or something. I like charcoal going on there.
Grilled fish.
And not a lot of fruit.
Fish.
Wow.
Grilled
Nice.
white
Whitefish,
Totally.
definitely.
Maybe
Just
a little bit of.
Go ahead.
Yeah, light floral, but I'm not getting fruit. I'm like reaching for some fruity descriptors, and they're not coming.
Lemon lime, but really, really light. But the grilled whitefish is kind of weird. Yeah, it's
Spot on.
No, this is more like what I'd call a typical Assyrtiko. What I think of when I'm looking for that varietal.
Wow.
This is sort of better integrated.
a traditional.
Much more traditional. Pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this a lot.
The fruit on the palate, however, is right there and getting like some really nice orange flavors. The minerality's like showing through. It's kind of like a nice touch of it right in the middle of the palate.
Good length.
Yeah. A little bit of citrus peel, kind of on the back again. I find myself saying that a lot. And then there's like a heavier feel right across the middle of the palate. Kind of evolves into some acidity, makes the mouth water a little bit. I kind of like that.
Yeah, this is tending more towards orange citrus, and then the peel thing is, I completely agree with that. Acidity is like very, very strong in the finish, which is good.
That grilled whitefish thing is just weirding me out. It's so like spot on, and it's got me thinking about foods, right? Like Greek salad, something a little more tart.
It's tough to say because like sometimes you do that with wine that's like maybe not so good on its own. You're like, this needs food, whatever. Like this is. It's fun on its own, but man, like with a meal, this would be fantastic.
Well, you talk about acidity, right? Think about a Greek salad, typical Greek salad with the oil and vinegar dressing.
Right.
The acidity in that's going to come right through, and I think it's a great compliment. And the acidity in the tomatoes, they're all going to go great with this wine. So
absolutely, I agree with that. Tough to score it on its own. Like it's sad. I wish I kind of like had a little bit of a salad going on like that right in front of me, so I could be a little more descriptive of what I'm thinking. It's on its own, interesting wine. 86 points. So
it's kind of growing on me as I have more of it. So I'm enjoying this more. It's very typical of the varietal, what I'm looking for in this. So I'm going to go 88.
Nice. And this is, again, this great insight that we have from having guests that have some experience. Our experience with Assyrtiko from Santorini, I think is the one other bottle that you saw us drink on the show. So, we're stuck trying to compare it to what do we think about this relative to the, Rieslings and Pinot Gris and Chardonnays that we're used to tasting. And that's unreasonable on so many levels. I mean,
our experience is completely different.
You got to grow your palate somewhere, and I guess we kind of like to think that maybe that's something nice about this show. While it's not the most accurate and comprehensive ratings, it's kind of an honest experience of two guys learning about wine, just like many of you are learning about wine. So hopefully you're enjoying the ride.
But does drinking wines like this, Grant, remind you of Santorini?
Well, I think you can
take you back to experiences and memories that you've had while you were there.
Absolutely. I don't think you can help but make that association. Right?
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the bottle and I'm going, okay, I've been to this winery, I've been to this winery. and all that I did while I was there, and what I tasted, and what I ate, what I drank, you know, the beach, everything, it all goes together. It's a package deal. And I'm trying not to be too influenced by that, right? I'm trying to just judge the wines for the wine itself, but then I'm also thinking of what I would be eating with this wine, and where I would be having it, and where's the appropriate time of year, the setting, the time of year, everything that would go with this wine if you were having it in the right environment. So,
Completely agree. Wow.
Do you
Wine
see,
number 3.
and do you see much Assyrtiko on the shelves when you're in wine shops around town?
there's not much, no, but you can find it, absolutely. Yeah.
Splashing around. Splashing around. Trying to think of something interesting to talk about. We're a bunch of boring guys tonight.
Wah, wah.
At least the wine's interesting. At least the wine's interesting.
So this is Sigalas, which, if I could say anything about them, they at least pretend to be the high-end winery on the island.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I don't have a strong opinion about their wine, so I'm really excited to try this. But that's sort of how they position themselves.
Sure.
Okay.
It's crazy that every winery has a view of the sea, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, they're amazing. You sit, I mean, at Santo Wines, which is the cooperative, so it's sort of like the, you know, I don't know, the granola winery of the island, right? It's everybody pulls together to make this winery. You don't think it's going to be a high-end place, but then you go there and you sit on the cliff, literally on the cliff, looking straight down at the ocean, watch the sunset, and for nothing, you can sit there and taste 12 wines and have a little cheese and olive plate and sit there and watch the sunset and spend hours if you want to for your $5 or $10.
That's definitely on the
That
list.
sounds like
That's
heaven.
definitely on
Yeah.
the
It's
list.
unbelievable. It's better than it sounds. I gotta say.
That's great.
Better. Wow.
Now I'm wondering, like, I'm getting a similar dark character. Do you think that's carrying over from this wine, or do you think it's present in this one as well?
I'm getting some really unique characteristic in this. I'm trying to.
The citrus is definitely stronger on the nose, I think, and getting like
This is more fresh.
Your
More fresh
lines
to
and-
me. I don't know. Like
Sure.
it's
Right. I
sort
think
of
fresh,
in
but like this
kiwi star fruit sort of thing
Okay.
going a little bit, but I would agree on this on the second one where you were like, oh, this is darker in character. Like this to me is a little more fresh and a little more lively on the nose. But
I'm gonna go with it. This is gonna be my running thing for Assyrtiko from Santorini. Yes, I'm getting definitely something that reminds me of a grill again on the nose. Not necessarily anything specifically getting cooked on it. Not
Like you
like
just
down
scrubbed
in
it off.
charcoal.
Got the
Yeah,
stainless
or
going
you know
on.
you're grilling something and there's
Brush.
a little bit of that coming through. And
right.
maybe
Yeah,
that's
the
something
char,
to
the
more often.
char that
Yeah,
is on the side of the fish. Oh,
there's just a little bit of a dark character on it, but definitely the citrus is more strong here.
yeah. I'm definitely coming through on this one. Is the character more of like the char that would be on the side of the fish when it's grilling.
Yeah,
when it's
yeah.
done grilling.
Some green apple stuff lurking in the background.
Yeah.
that I really like.
Okay. I'm liking this a lot.
Totally.
Wow.
The mouthfeel is fantastic, I think. The acidity keeps things really bright and fresh, and there's like a little bit of richness that runs around the sides of the mouth. Kind of reminds me of like peach skin or apricot skin or something like that. Really clean and clear.
I think we were talking about the green apples too. That plays on the palate for me, like a very, very almost underripe Granny Smith sort of.
Oh,
Like
I like the underripe
tartness.
Yeah,
Tartness,
absolutely.
like, but delicious, right? Like
It's like a tart acidity, like on an unripe apple,
absolutely.
but it is
Oh, wow.
delicious. I agree completely.
and like the
You
fruit
learn.
flavor isn't really full, but it's still there,
Yeah.
right? But wow. The
More
acidity's
more
so
subtle, and the acidity is definitely forward across the entire palate.
And especially on the finish, or like as I have more sips, the acidity is like building up on the palate, keeping things really dry. Like good for sipping while you're looking over the sunset.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this one I wanted to
This
have
would be good
with
some
the
olives.
Gavala I wanted to have with a salad. I just thought that was a perfect compliment. This one I want to have the grilled fish. I want to have the olives. I want to have something a little bit bigger, a little meatier to go with
Olives
this.
would be fantastic. fantastic.
Olives with this would be awesome, yeah. Olives and olive oil. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely feeling better about this wine. Like, this is something that, even on its own, is delicious. But this I could see pairing with so many good foods. 89 points. I like this quite a bit. This is,
Yeah.
a complete package.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I'm feeling this is 90 points for me. I just love this. It's exactly where it's going, and it's the varietal with just a little, with more refinement, more character, more, and I think it's age worthy a little bit.
I can totally
give
see
it,
that.
Yeah, a few years on this. Yeah.
That'd be early.
And developing, like, it's like as it gets older, like that darker character really evolving into something like really complex. And I think the clarity of the acidity is really standing out in comparison to the previous two, where it does really give an impression of just delicious quality. And 88 points for me. I'm stingy today. That's how it is. I feel a little bit guilty about it, but that's just where that's
You
where
don't
it's
want
at.
these to show up your darling reason.
Yeah, it's hard to break away. It's hard to break away. So now that you've got a cheap shot, I'll change the subject and we'll move on to
Why don't you talk some more, Grant?
wine number 4.
So what's the best Santorini wine you've ever had?
Oh, well, actually, the Vincento we had on the other show was
That
way up
was
near the top.
easily.
It might be the top. It's absolutely up there.
That dessert wine was amazing.
That was a Vincento, right? I mean, that was a Santo
Vincento.
Wines from Santo
Yep.
Wines,
Yep.
right? So that's where are we here? That's
This
this
one?
same winery here.
Wow, yeah, that was
It's excellent.
definitely killing.
In fact, I have that wine, the Vincento, I purchased when I was on Santorini and brought it back. That was
Wow.
it was worth carrying halfway across the world. So
I agree. I carry it halfway across the board.
Right. And I think wines are a little more worthwhile to you when you've put in the time with them.
right.
Or when you
Like-
discover it on site. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's similar to music. Like when you go see somebody live that you don't know, maybe at a local shop or some local theater, local bar or something, and you really enjoy it. You buy their CD, it becomes one of your favorite pieces of music because you got a personal experience with it, right? It means something to you, and I think wines are the same way, right? You were at the winery, you were in the region, you talked to the winemaker, you talked to their family, you saw their operation, you walked through their fields, and suddenly it sort of becomes a part of you.
And it all floods back when you drink the wine. Like it's.
It really does. It really does. But there's also the understanding. Like you're talking about do you understand this varietal, right? Do you understand where it fits in the scheme of things and what to expect from it? And when you've been there and you've tasted them, then you know something about it, and you have an understanding of the varietal and what the winemaker's trying to do and how it fits into the whole wine world.
Or in a sense, the history behind it. Yeah, it's
That's right.
all the awesome stuff with wine, right? It's just infinitely complex, and the more you know, the more satisfying pretty much all of it is. So.
Completely agree. So we talked about this one, like who it's from,
Oh, no.
what the name of it? Like, I would butcher that. So you say that. I would
This is
destroy it.
Argyros,
Okay.
and it's anglicized, so that's the best I can do from an English version.
Okay. So Assyrtiko, 2009, Santorini. Yeah. Pretty label.
It's the tallest bottle. I don't know if that.
I like we have.
That means
there are
something.
two green ones.
Is it
We
the
have a
heaviest?
blue one, a brown one.
Yeah.
There's no. I like the fact there's no two bottles alike here. I'm not sure what that means though.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Maybe
cobalt bottle.
they're probably
is-
all recycled.
excellent.
Maybe.
I'm just.
Especially got so much sand, right? They just.
That's it.
Wow. The acidity's so strong on this, it like immediately zapped my nose when I first smelled it.
And I'm getting that grill character again.
The fruit is here. Starting to feel the alcohol. The fruit here is a little stronger than the previous two. I mean, like, at least for me.
Hint of something tropical. I'm getting like kiwi fruit, and then maybe a little into pineapple. It's elusive. I'm having a hard time like declaring for sure what I think it is, but it does have like a sense of richness to it.
There's a little bit of that sort of like
Maybe a little
tropical. Ooh. Yeah.
You said tropical.
What?
I think that's a good.
Where we
Tropical. That's a good call. I'm getting like some, mango, papaya, pineapple sort of a mixture, not like one thing, but just like the whole tropical feel to it. It is in there, absolutely, sort of like a softer version of citrus or something.
Yeah.
Not so much lemony or orange, but
As soon as Dad sent cucumber, there's at work in the cafeteria they've been doing this like lemon cucumber water.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. And this has a very subtle hint of cucumber. I would agree. I would totally agree with that. Interesting.
Back to the salad.
Very interesting.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, this is a lighter wine than the Sigalas. A little more probably typical what you're going to find on the island, and I'm going back to the salad thing. Yeah, this is I think a great compliment with the salad, and it's got all the typical qualities of Assyrtiko and just pleasant and enjoyable without being like too crazy. So
And there's some great, like there's some actual, like there's some vegetal qualities on this one.
Totally. There's like a green pepper thing on here.
I was gonna say like grilled
green
asparagus.
pepper.
Sure.
Yeah,
I like the green pepper. Yeah, that's a great call.
yeah.
Again, as we're learning, you could blind me on this and tell me it was a Sancerre, and I'd be like, oh, fantastic. Like I'd buy it hook, line, and sinker.
Yes, absolutely. And this is the only one of the four I would agree with you on that.
Little, yeah, man. Actually, later as it goes in the palate, the lemons are coming in like in full force too, like really drying things out on the back of the palate.
Really
I
dry.
like that.
Really, really dry. Definitely an interesting wine, but coming from the last one, not as immediately pleasing. I'm definitely feeling a little less about this one, but
Well, I think we should have tasted the last two in the reverse order. Not
absolutely.
only because this one sort of is, it's got so much sort of definition.
I really
that-
like it.
That it,
love it.
I really like this one. Right. I mean, I like it both of them, but
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate we tasted this thing last because it's sort of getting lost in comparison. Not because this one's necessarily better, but just because this one was sort of like stronger, had more definition, had more like, bang to it. And I think this is a great wine that we're tasting right now.
This is easily my favorite of the lineup. Because it starts out light and gentle, and I'm getting some minerality early. That green pepper, to me, rolls in on the mid-palate, and it's full. Like it rises up, it's kind of like this burst of flavor, and it fades just as quickly into the lemons, the citrus that clean things out,
And green
dry the mouth out, make the mouth water. Yeah, it's a good call. Nothing like overwhelmingly complex or making you stare off into space, but it hits all of the points along the way. Spot on. It's delicious. The acidity makes me reach for another glass. 89 points here. Really happy with it.
It's well balanced, it's integrated, it's got character, it's got length, it's got all the characteristics that are typical of the varietal, and I just want to drink more. So,
Solid.
sorry, 90 points.
Nice.
Me a little less. I'm gonna go 87 on this one, or no, I'll go 88 because really this is better than the first two. Just the flavor profile for me isn't matching up, and this is one where, even though it's a fantastic wine on its own, I really do want food with this. Like, I think where this would shine because of this like slightly vegetal green olive sort of flavor. It would just pair well with so many foods and like the really high focused acidity. A fantastic wine, totally. But I really need food with this one.
Well, so let me ask you this. Is it fair to taste it without food then? Or is it fair to score it as if you weren't eating
The scores
food
would
with it?
change with food.
Okay, so,
Absolutely,
so
every
are you
single
able
experience.
to able to say what it would score with food?
No, because I'm not eating the food with it.
Okay.
At that time I could.
But are you scoring it
I'm scoring it right now. How I'm
right
feeling.
now without food? Okay.
Yeah. I can't do
And
anything
admitting
different.
that it might be higher with food, but
80
you don't know what
plus.
that is.
80 plus.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is that what you
No, but
I'll beat him up after the show, don't worry.
Yeah.
No, but really, all you can sort of bank on when you're sort of judging a wine or judging, I think, anything in life is like what you're right now. This is the experience, right? You can think about in the future and the past, but you don't know. Like you have no
Sure.
clear definition for how that will be.
Right. We can imagine what it would be exactly with food and what food would go well with it, but
Right.
we don't know until we actually do it.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
So that's
Alright.
where we're at.
Yeah, that's our show. And these were all very interesting wines. We stress that you should check out Assyrtiko because it is. This is.
Man, let us know if you taste
Delicious
that like
wine,
grill
yeah.
character, because I noticed it
Yeah.
on these last three, and I'm going to be looking
Very
for it
strong,
everyone that I
alcohol
taste
free.
from now on.
Yeah.
Question of the day from our guest.
All right, so I'm gonna force an edit, but I do have a question.
Okay.
So, leftover as a, I think Constance sent you this,
Yep,
is that
yep.
right? From our last show, last Santorini wine show. So, on Santorini, this is a miniature version, but the vines are groomed like this. And into a tight circle on the ground, there's no trellising, it's literally on the ground, the entire island's like this. The reason is, high winds every afternoon, all summer long. Without this, you just rip the vines apart. So, the question is, does the wind add a characteristic to the wine? And if so, what is it?
Wow.
Nice.
Talk about terroir, talk about...
No, yeah. It's,
I had a wine, a sparkling from Italy at Red Slate,
okay.
that it was grown, and the vines are in the same vineyard as an orange grove. No interaction between the two, no physical modification of the wine, no manipulation, and the orange on the palate of that wine, of that sparkling, was unbelievable. It was so
Wow.
strong, but perfectly integrated. It was all terroir.
Crazy.
So, does wind have any characteristic?
Awesome question.
Yeah.
Let's get some more good answers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.